sketchbook, Alan Lee reveals in pictures and in words how he created the beautiful watercolor paintings for the special centenary edition of Lord of the Rings. I am reading. Hola, 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 hola. Hi there, hi there, hi there. Hello, 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 everybody. Hi guys, I want to improve my English, so I have been practicing in an app in an app on my how it say how como se dice in my phone. So I woke so I woke this book in English to practice my speak, my spell, something like that. You know what I'm saying. So I will be reading. So I will be I will be reading to reading. I gonna reading a little bit of this book. Okay. This is a sketchbook. Sketchbook. You are reading this, yeah. Sketchbook in Spanish means libro de bocetos o libro de dibujos. Okay, so let's go. Let's go to it. In the Lord of the Rings sketchbook, Alan Lee reveals in pictures and in words how he created the beautiful watercolor paintings for the special centenary edition of Lord of the Rings. I am reading the jacket of this book. I am reading this part. I will put you some images of this book while I am reading. Sorry about my mistakes. These images could prove so powerful and screen. It will also be of interest to many of the thousands of people who have both the illustrated Lord of the Rings. Okay, it was a little part of the jacket of the book. This is an illustration of the map. Look at this, guys. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. It it is so amazing, bro. You know. Contents. In Spanish, it's like contenido, contenido, contents. Forward, forward. For. I really love the Lord of the Rings. I really love the Lord of the Rings movie. Forward. When I meet Peter Jackson and Frank Walsh in London 6 months before they started shooting the Lord of the Rings in New Zealand, they enticed me by showing some startling pictures of Middle Earth on 2 scores. This was a clincher to the suggestion that I made play Gandalf, marveling at the spectacular designs. This was my introduction to a saga which I hadn't the read and more a realization that although the enterprise of the 2 modest Kiwis was googly ambition, if the graphics were anything to go by, it was also achievable. Introduction. I first read The Lord of the Rings when I was 17 and working as a gardener in a cemetery. Every day I would lose myself among the ivy-covered creeps and shadow crops, and the evenings immerse myself in the strange and beautiful world that J.R.R. Tolkien's books had opened up After studying graphics and illustration for 3 years and another 6 earning a living doing paperback covers, my dream of being able to illustrate the stories that I liked best started to bear fruit. There were books of fairy lore and Celtic myths and Arthurian stories, and eventually I found myself taking to Rainer Unwin and J. Johnson about the idea of an illustrated edition of The Lord of the Rings to commemorate the centenary of its author birth. Concerning hobbits, drawing for me is more a process of editing out than attempting to delineate something that already exists as an image in my mind. The pencil is continually correcting itself and trying to bear away from what feels grown, and I will often do many drawings before coming up with something I'm happy with. Trying to design a generic hobbit that fitted the author's description while avoiding the traps of looking too childlike, comical, or grotesque was less easy than I'd imagined. But the process of visualization was helped by my friendship with a real hobbit, Kieran Shaw, who at 4 foot 2 inches was later to become the scale double for Frodo in the Peter Jackson film trilogy. Okay guys, sorry about that, about my bad English. I know I have to improve my spell. I don't know what it say, but eventually I will have the books, the trilogy books, and I going to say it in Spanish. Pronto tendré los libros, tendré la trilogía. Pronto tendré la trilogía y quiero empezar a leer los libros en el canal. Entonces, actualmente estoy leyendo los de Harry Potter. Entonces, voy a estar leyendo el primer libro de Harry Potter y pronto empezaré a leer el primer libro de El Señor de los Anillos, The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship, no, la comunidad del anillo. Okay. Thank you very much if you stay hasta